How I overcame my anxiety issues. Listen to this, if you can hear it for a minute. I feel good. I knew that I would. I feel good. I knew that I would. Okay, so what the hell is that supposed to mean? Well, when I would have anxiety or anxious thoughts, anxious feelings, mental or physical, which I really never had physical, I would sing this song. That was my medicine, man. I would sing fucking James Brown, I Feel Good. Sounds retarded, right? Well, what I was doing was changing my behavior. When, excuse me, I smoked too much. When I would start feeling anxious or, whatever, I would sing this song. I would get up, I would start fucking doing my little James Brown shit, and I would sing this. Right? And, right, it looks fucking stupid, I know. I'm not even a big James Brown fan. But the point was, I was changing my behavior. When my thoughts would run away on me, or when I started feeling a little palpitations in my chest, which would then trigger, it would remind me of my anxieties, and my mind would start running off. And dude, when my mind runs, it fucking runs, man. And maybe yours does too. But the only way I could stop it was by grabbing that bitch by the horns, dragging its fucking head into the dirt, and holding on as hard as I could. And how I did that was this. James Brown, man. I would fucking sing the song. I would think of this song, and I would dance. And I look like an idiot doing it because I can't dance. I definitely can't sing. But, it worked. And it took a tremendous amount of effort to act that way. There was some times that I would be in the middle of my shit, and I would almost feel like I was gonna just stop and fucking cry or just let my shit run away. But I held the horns of that fucking bull, and I kept at it. And it would lessen the anxiety at first, and my wife and I would have a chuckle over it. But it got easier. It wasn't so much effort, and it eventually got to the point, and really, in the scale of things, in a very short amount of time, it got to the point where it didn't require a tremendous amount of effort, and eventually even to where I didn't have to do that, to where I'm driving home from work, my mind's just sailing, and I would come across an anxious thought, or I'd feel a little something of anxiety, and I created a new behavior for myself, to where, as a mental knee-jerk reaction, without having to think it out, I would just be like, this shit don't matter. It doesn't matter at all, because I feel good. I feel nice, right? And it changed my behavior. And it got easier and easier and easier, like I said, and to this day, I will still have a moment where I remember what anxiety was like, and I'll just be sitting there and blah, 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 and then I'll just remember something, the commercial on fucking television will come out about depression, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember having anxiety. Man, anxiety really fucking sucked. God, that would suck if I had to go through that again. I don't ever want to go through that again. Please don't. Wait a minute. Dude, that shit don't matter. What the fuck am I doing? It doesn't matter at all. Life is sugar and spice, dude. So nice. I feel fucking good. And it would squash it out, kill it, and that would be it. It would die right then and there. Anxiety is a normal part of life, people. We have to have that shit. It's horribly uncomfortable, and it's horribly terrifying. But it is not something that has to define you. As people that have generalized anxiety disorder, people with generalized anxiety disorder have created a set of behaviors that are based on anxiety and how they deal with it. They feed the loop. They put energy into the anxiety. It builds. It fucking swirls this dark, nasty mess, and becomes all consuming. Yeah, it's a horrible fucking cycle, horrible circle. So the idea, the only fucking way to rid yourself of an anxiety disorder, not rid yourself of anxiety, because you can't rid yourself of anxiety. Don't think for a minute that you're just not going to be an anxious person. You're going to turn into this robot. If you're walking down the street and a fucking car blows up, you need that anxiety for the reaction that you may need to take. But you don't need anxiety when you're having, a conversation with your fucking kid's teacher. You don't need anxiety for that. You might still get it. That's what a generalized anxiety disorder comes from, is an inappropriate burst of anxiety. But anxiety starts this big every time. This fucking big. This is how it starts. A little teeny seed. And the only way that seed or that fire can grow is if you dump fuel into it. You put energy into it. Then it starts fucking expanding. It doesn't expand on its own. You have to do that. You have to expand it. Anxiety's this big when it starts. It's just a little boop. For me, I killed it with James Brown. See how that could work? That's how I killed it at first. That was my my training dummy. It sounds retarded, but it's true. And I think I've explained everything that I wanted to explain. I don't really have anything else to say because I'm just going to ramble from this point. So find your training dummy. Find your training dummy. And I don't mind looking like a dummy on video, so I'm not going to edit this shit because I really don't have time. But find your training dummy. Whether it be fucking James Brown or Vanilla Ice or fucking LL Cool J or whatever. It has to. The only thing that I recommend is that it has to actively pull against anxiety. Painting doesn't pull against anxiety. In the way I look at it, I mean, you're just fucking painting and you're trying to forget. You're just painting and trying to forget the fact that you have anxiety, but you're fucking painting, with anxiety, or cutting your grass, or, working on your fucking house or whatever. That shit doesn't cut it, man. It's not strong enough. You need fucking James Brown strong, man. Yeah, you need something really strong to pull in the opposite direction of your anxiety. And it's going to take a lot of effort at first, because you're not going to want to feel like doing it. You're just going to be like, I'm all fucked up with anxiety. I can't sing and dance to James Brown. But that's what you have to do. Maybe you don't like James Brown. Why wouldn't you like James Brown? I don't know, but maybe you don't. Find something else. But it has to be positive. Horribly fucking positive. Dripping in positivity, man. It has to be, painting or doing puzzles like my wife did is not dripping in positivity, man. It's just that doesn't do it. All you're doing is trying to forget. You're like, I'm just trying to forget so it'll go away. Fuck that. You got to fight that shit. You have to. You have to fight it full on, man. Working out, all that kind of shit. For me, it just didn't work. I'm not all positive when I'm working out. For the longest time, I thought, if I worked out, that would do it, but it doesn't. For one, I don't like working out. To me, working out's fucking negative. I know it's terrible. But, yeah, find your training dummy. Find your positivity, man. And if you've got to do that shit 100 times a day, if you're all day belting out fucking Ice Ice Baby, which I don't know if that's not very positive. I don't know. Don't worry, feel happy, or whatever the fuck that song is. Don't worry, be happy. That's positive. Music. I'm not even a very musical person, but that was really strong for me because I could sing and dance in any fucking ways. See, I told you I was going to ramble. It becomes easier. James Brown, dancing and singing, evolved very quickly into mentally doing it, that evolved into realizing how ridiculous it was, and it evolved into me just realizing that anxiety is a very, very weak thing. That anxiety is this big. We make it as big as it gets. And when the anxiety bubble bursts, you have a panic attack. And when the panic attack is over, you're exhausted, you feel like shit, you're scared, and you're anxious. So you constantly have this little anxiety bubble right here with you, constantly. Bitch is like right here with you all day long. And you'll feed it. It'll grow. Sometimes it just grows really fucking small. Sometimes it comes big and small, and then it'll just fucking explode on you. The point is, squish that little bitch. Squish it with positivity. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. It's very simple. I'd like to thank James Brown for helping me with this video, and Charles Linden and the Linden Method for giving me the information. Hopefully you learned a little something. Hopefully you laughed. You probably only made it 30 seconds of this video and decided I was a fucking idiot. And that's fine too. But if you have any questions, fucking message me or whatever you do on this Facebook shit. I don't know. I'm not a Facebook professional. But I'll try to answer the best I can. So keep it positive, man. Keep it I'm going to play James Brown again. Keep it positive. See you next time.